What's up, fam? Extraordinary Life with Elijah. And this week, Azriela, Kailani, Bowden, and Jamin are my extra, and I am the ordinary. Fam, this last week, me and my family went to a conference called the Advance Conference. There's a whole bunch of the C3 family that all went up together. It was like a day and a half long conference that was up in Great Falls, Montana. We went together as a family to seek what the Lord had for us, and as we were getting done, we were having breakfast, and Philip, one of the members that went with us, said, "Elijah, has God said anything to you over this weekend? Like, what are you coming away with after this weekend, having pressed in with the whole community here?" And I said, "Philip, I don't know. All I have is my experience with my children." As we went into the conference, Charlotte and I talked extensively about whether or not we would go and take our kids or whether I should just go by myself. Charlotte stay at home and watch the kids, and I just merged back. As we talked about that, I told her I didn't want to go and have experiences by myself, have her stay with the kids and me come back just lit on fire and try to catch her up on everything that God did while she's super tired and having spent a day and a half, 3 days with the kids as I traveled and came back. So I said, "No, honey, I want to go. I want you to be there, and we're going to take all the kids with us." Now, as we got there to Great Falls, it was absolute bedlam from day one to the end. As we got there, we got into the hotel room. The kids had never been to a hotel room before, so they're cooped up in a car for 3 hours. All of a sudden, we go into this building, walk into a room that looks like a house. Whose house is this? We don't know, and they just lost their minds. Fam, they were bouncing all over the beds. They were jumping on the chairs. They were up in the windowsill of the window on the 3rd floor of the building, smacking on non-shatterproof glass. "Look outside, I can see all the way to the parking lot." You go to grab that kid out of the windowsill, another kid's over pulling on lamps and turning them on and off. Another kid's pushing all the buttons on the microwave and just running all over the place. Bowden kept running out of the bathroom with the leaf soap that looked like candy, and he kept trying to steal it and eat it. I almost told him to just take a bite of it and figure that out for himself. Charlie and I were just running around in circles. "Stop jumping on the bed. Stop spinning around the office chair. No, stop. You're going to fall over and smack your head. Just sit on the bed. Sit on the bed. You may not move." Finally, oh my goodness, we had to have a sit down, let's talk about our emotions talk together. I was doing a good job of regulating my emotions, responding and not reacting. Got all the kids around, sitting on a chair, sitting on the bed together, and just asked them, "Hey kids, we're gonna chat about our feelings. How are you guys feeling right now?" To a one, they all said, "Dad, we're feeling so excited. Whose house is this? How long do we get to stay? Why have we never been to this house before?" I was able to establish very quickly that they were just incredibly excited and had no context to understand how to engage this new environment. As we talked about how excited they were, I told them, "Guys, we're gonna explore all sorts of things in this room. There's a pool here in this hotel. We're gonna go swimming. We're gonna take you to a VBS. It's gonna be so much fun, but you're gonna need to do it together with Dad." Now, the next day and a half, we worked so hard on investigating and being excited about things together. Didn't always succeed, but we did better and better. Now it took them on then to the VBS that they had planned for our kids while we were at the conference. It was a day and a half, full day and a half VBS that was set up for the kids, age specific, and the childcare was top of the line. Till this date, Bowden has never gone to a class by himself that he didn't cry right away. Took Bowden to his class, dropped him off, no crying, played for 3 hours, and was super happy still when we came and picked him up. Amazing. Kailani ran in, jumped on the first person that she saw, tackled them to the floor, and stole their candy. Had to deal with that one. Azriela emerged off into her class, even though she was nervous. There were some other little kids there that she knew, and she was able to engage with them, so she wasn't too nervous about the newness of it. Had a great time. All of them were just bouncing and smiling as soon as we picked them up that night. Got him home and went to bed. Now, the next day was a little bit different. We had thrown the kids completely off their schedules traveling on Thursday. They didn't get their regular naps. They stayed up really late, way past 10 o'clock. We got them to bed and then bounced out super early. Got them to their classes at 8 o'clock in the morning. They stayed there clear until 2:30. Took them back to the hotel, tried to get them to take a nap, didn't work so well. And then as we merged back into the evening session on Friday night, Bowden was just crying and crying and crying. Didn't want to go to his class. Kailani again ran to the first child that she saw, tackled on the floor and tried to steal their candy again. And Azriela just melted down. I want my mommy. I just want to stay with you. I'm so tired of hanging out with people I don't know, Dad. I don't know if I can do this. As I talked with her, I said, honey, please just go to your class. As we chatted, she said, Dad, I don't know if I can. I told her to give it a shot, that I'd come back and check in a few minutes and see how she was doing, reassess. I came back, still was not doing well, until one of the workers came up and said, we're going to draw a prophetic mural together. Would you like to come and draw? Azriela's eyebrows went up. She said, I am very good at drawing. Her teacher said, ooh, you said that with some authority. Come with me, let's do some drawing. That was all it took. Azzy went with her teacher. Drew did an amazing job. Her teacher brought me pictures of the drawings that she had done. So pleased with her. Gathered all the kids up, took them to bed, went to sleep, and were able to make it home without much difficulty. Fam, my takeaway from my kids, what I learned from the conference weekend, was that as I go into new things with God, I get so excited, I just lose my mind. All of the stability and the perseverance, the consistency, the self-control and the regulation and listening to the Father's voice and watching for what He's doing just goes out the window. It's all new and I just want to touch everything. I'm so excited for this new context that I'm in that I just start jumping all over everything, spinning on the chairs, jumping on the windows, banging on it like, wow, I've never seen from this high far up before. And God pulls me off, and as soon as He pulls me off, I come running out of the bathroom like eating leaves and bars of soap. And God, He's so patient with me that He says, buddy, hold up, hold up. All of these things are for you. I'm so excited to explore all of them with you, but you're going to burn yourself out. Daddy has spent lots of money and effort. I've got you to this point. I've carried you here. I want to experience the fullness of everything that we have here. But son, I want to tell you, I want to experience them with you. As I press into those things, and if I don't choose to listen to God, all of a sudden, as He starts putting me into training, He puts me into faith school to face trials that I've never faced before in order to test my faith and to grow my perseverance, my maturity, completeness, and wholeness. Sometimes I experience grace in ways that I'm in new places and new spaces, having fun and not crying and freaking out in ways that I've never had before. I'm having the time of my life. I'm growing and playing. Or maybe I just tackle the first person that I see and I try to rob their gifts or their honor or their position and take it for myself. Or maybe I merge into the season with a little hesitancy, not knowing quite who these people are and what we're doing. But that as I press forward into that though, if I'm not connecting with the Father, I'm not laying down, taking my naps like Daddy encourages us to do because I'm so excited I just can't go to sleep, and I'm not resting with Him, and I'm not sleeping with Him, and I'm not listening to His voice, that pretty soon I get in this space where I absolutely just gas out, that the joy that I've found goes away and is replaced with crying and sobbing and falling down and sleeping for 3 hours instead of playing in the class that God has called me to. Or that the behaviors in me that are slightly off just ramp up even more and I start tackling people like a zombie on crack, or just completely melt down and I can't take it anymore. I don't know where you are, Father. I haven't seen you. I feel disconnected from you. I can't control my emotions. I can't do this. I don't know if I can do this. And that's when the Father comes and says, my friend, you've been walking without my presence, and you've been walking without listening to my voice, watching what I'm doing for quite a while. And Daddy's been here inviting you to walk with me, to discover all of these things together with me. But you've been outpacing who I am. You got so excited about the new that you forgot about me. Fam, my encouragement to you is, out of the prophetic voice of my little kids, is to encourage you that as you're merging into new seasons, not the next season, but the new season. Next is a linear progression that builds upon past experience where you've gained expertise. So it's the next logical step in a linear progression. New, there's no context for new. There's no basis for you to be able to understand what it is that you're going into. You can be incredibly excited. You can be incredibly intimidated. It can, due to the lack of knowledge and fear, it can draw all kinds of bad behavior out of you, and you can start jumping on people and trying to steal their candy. Whatever that looks like in your life, that as you merge into new environments, know that the Father has paid a great price. He's taken great efforts to merge you into that space, and that He wants you to experience the fullness of every exciting thing that is in that new environment. But that as you engage all of those things, to exercise the spiritual fruit of self-control, to look to Him and say, Dad, can I touch this thing? What is this thing, Dad? Son, that's a microwave. Would you like to push the buttons and find out what it does? Yeah, Dad, I would. Listen to the beeps, see how it heats things up, but that you're doing it in conjunction with Him. And that if you keep pursuing things that you think are just the sweetest thing, and you just need to put it in your mouth, but the Father keeps telling you, take that back and put it back in the bathroom. That is not candy, and you may not eat it. You would listen to the Father on those things, that your heart's desires are good, but that the Father is seeking to protect you. Listen to His voice, and that as He merges you into new environments where you're learning and growing, your faith is being tested, that when the Father calls you back and says, it's time to rest, it's time to sleep, that you would listen to His voice again and lay down and sleep, so that you don't get to a place where you're so far burned out that you should just lose your mind, melt down, and have to have a hard reset with Dad. Fam, I hope my adventures with my kids can encourage you. I know that their little prophetic voices teach me so much truth about this next season that me and my community are in. If you subscribe to what I'm doing, then hit the button, hit it, and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. And if you loved this video, you didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. I pray blessings on all of your days. I love you guys lots, and I'll see you in the next video.